Hello friends. So in this video, I'm going to talk about fasting. And before I start, disclaimer, I'm no doctor. I have no experience in I've not done any education in medicines, and I'm no doctor and I'm no nutritionist. I do consult doctors for my own health. And so what I'm going to say is just my own experience and how I ended up doing this stuff like doing fasting and things like that. So let's get started. So, yeah, I have been recently doing probably for the past month or so, I've been doing fasting. And what I mean is I have a eating window, like a eating period, and then I have a fasting period. So basically, from around 11 a.m. to till like 7 p.m., I try to eat. And then I don't eat in the outside of that window, from 7 p.m. to say the next morning, 10 a.m. So I eat say, I could skip breakfast or eat a late breakfast or something like a brunch, and then I could eat my lunch, and then I could eat dinner by 7, and then that's all. I think eating dinner by 7 is a popular thing in many countries, but in India, a lot of people eat dinner at say 8, 9. Some people eat it later too, depending on the usual habits of the household. So how I ended up doing fasting and why did I do it? So I wanted to try it out for losing weight, and I did lose weight actually. And we'll see in how I did lose weight probably, but I'm not sure, but probably based on the actions that I did. We will see how I ended up here. So the first thing that I want to talk about is I think I ended up here trying out fasting when I saw this video by this doctor called Jason Fung. So who talks about fasting as a therapeutic option for weight loss. This is a pretty cool video. You can go check it out. It is like a 1 hour, 11 minutes length video. I've seen the whole thing, though it shows somewhere here. I've seen the whole thing going back and forth. This is at a particular some sort of conference like thing called CrossFit Health. You can go check it out. And interesting thing, how hard is fasting? In my experience, fasting was hard whenever I was hungry in my fasting period, like whenever in my fasting window. If I was not hungry in my fasting window, I think I didn't even care, as long as I didn't worry or think too much about, hey, I'm not eating or things like that, or looking forward to the eating window that can happen at times, or looking at people and being like, hey, you're eating, oh my God, I can't, I have to abstain, like abstinence and things like that. But yeah, you can see how Jason Fung actually explains in this video. I'll share the video link about how fasting helps with weight loss. So they talk about how when someone doesn't eat, their insulin levels go down, and then your body fat is used and things like that. And once you eat, your insulin goes up immediately. I am no expert in science. I have like very bad ideas about science, but I'm still learning this stuff. But it was interesting to listen to this kind of concepts, and like Jason Fung explains it in a really, really well manner. And well, I figured, okay, let's try this out. And Jason Fung also talks about the usual myths, calorie counting. But if you do it and still like eat a lot of times in a day and without breaks, there is no way that your insulin level is going down, and then so it's going to be hard to use your body fat, and your body fat is what is going to show you, like, as a big person. And to lose that weight, you'll have to actually lower your insulin. And then he also goes on to talk about how this can actually treat diabetes and things like that. He has also written some books. You can go check it out. Interestingly, he tells like how there is money in saying that, hey, take this medicine, things like that, than saying, hey, just fast and you should be fine. Because in fasting, you just don't eat anything. You just don't do anything. And then so the doctors are not going to gain any money, or the medicine industry is not going to gain any money. Interestingly, I was skeptical. I was like, hey, wait, if saying there's no money in this, why are you here talking about this? Is he really passionate? Maybe he is, but he also runs this company called Fasting Method. So let me show you CrossFit. Okay. So let me, one moment. Fasting method. Yeah, let me just. Okay, so this is the website, and Jason Fung actually manages this website, and you can see it's about fasting. You know how to lose weight, so why can't you? What's missing? We are here to help, and things like that. So Jason Fung actually, founded this, I believe, along with someone else, Megan Ramos, and there are like a lot of reviews around this, and you can go check out the different, programs and things like that. It's pretty interesting, and you can also see Jason Fung has his own YouTube channel. There are so many videos he has done on his YouTube channel and also outside of his YouTube channel, for example, in things like CrossFit. And he talks about how you can fast, how to reverse type 2 diabetes naturally, and things like that. So you can, it's a very, very interesting idea because he talks about how people get diabetes and then end up in like end up dying basically. Like they have kidney failures and at some point they die. So my aunt, actually, she suffered from, I mean, a kidney failure. She had diabetes and then she suffered from kidney failure, both kidneys, and then she passed away at some point. It was pretty, pretty sad. She had to do dialysis, um, using machines, and had to go to the hospital and do dialysis using the machine because her kidneys failed. And so I think it's a pretty awesome thing to be able to reverse diabetes. So again, diabetes, insulin, all related, and then even weight loss, the body fat, and insulin, a lot of things related things. So you can go read about this, understand the science behind this, and you would be able to appreciate it more. And Jason Fung talks about how you can fast, what to do when fasting and things like that, how to fast and things like that. And he primarily tells to stop counting calories and things like that, and why it really leads to weight loss and things like that. So, and you can also see this complete video, which will give a good example of even things like, say, what would you feel like? What is the hormone in play when you feel hungry? I think it's called gherkin. Let me check it out. One moment. Gherkin. Um, hormone. Yeah, it's called gherkin. And so this is the thing. So the hunger hormone, and apparently this is the hormone that, like, ghrelin, sorry, not gherkin, ghrelin. And apparently this will go in waves. Basically, let's say I'm hungry now, doesn't mean I'll be hungry for a lot of time. Like my hunger will keep just increasing just because I don't eat, it'll just keep increasing. No. So Jason Fung shows how if you ride the wave, that is, your hunger will go up, but then it'll also come down after some time. And then if you hold the fort and just stick through that up and down cycle, if you're hungry in your fasting time, I think that's pretty cool. And it's hard, yes, but if you're focused and, like, for example, you're doing a YouTube video, or you're cycling, or you're just going out, or like playing, or you're with friends, you're with family, whatever, doing something, and if you're occupied and not worrying about food or worrying about being, hungry and things like that, you will ride the wave, and then also you'll be able to take care of your cravings. For example, I have had cravings at times when I was fasting, and I was like, abstinence from food helped when I was like, or else I would just overeat a lot of junk food, chips, anything from outside, and pretty unhealthy food, burgers and whatnot, which are pretty, like, oily and things like that. So he talks about this ghrelin hormone, like, going up and then coming down after some time. So let's say this is like 10 a.m. and then this is like, say, 12 p.m. or like, say, 11 a.m. If your hunger is like, say, 10:30, let's say my hunger is at 10:30, but then my eating time starts only at 11, I could either move my eating window, accordingly ensure that the window is like, say, 8 hours. So I do 8 hours eating and then 16 hours fasting. So if you ride through that wave, or I can actually either put it in front or say, hey, no, only eat at 11, but then I'll ride through the wave of the hunger at 10:30. It'll come down, and it's not like I'm hungry, I'll be hungriest, and like it'll go on. No. Instead, your hunger levels will just come down and it'll go up again later. So you can go read more about this. Of course, I'm no scientist or like some doctor, but this was an interesting graph that Jason Fung shows in his video, and then talks about how just because you are hungry doesn't mean you'll always be hungry, and your hunger will keep increasing and things like that. So yeah, it's a very interesting thing, and I have noticed weight loss a lot, and I've also been feeling pretty good, pretty light. and I think I lost some around 8 kilograms, some 8, 9 kilograms by doing these things. And yeah, I think it's a pretty great idea. And apart from fasting, I was of course also walking and cycling. And today I ran actually. But most of these days I was just walking or cycling. So whenever I had to go out, if it was a nearby place, I would just walk and go. And I would actively choose walking whenever it's a small distance, and then I would actively try to go and cycle every day. So I think they burned some calories, and I also my food intake at some point became a bit low. I was eating more of things like fruits and vegetables than just rice or um, eating overeating and things like that. And sometimes I ate only 2 meals a day or 3 meals with small meals and things like that. Sometimes I did actually move away from my eating window, for example, say 11 to 8, and the next day I would start, say, at 12 to 7 or still 11 to 7. It's okay to not fast, I guess. I mean, not everyone is fasting and they're still fine, at least as of now. So, fasting is just a good idea, is what I believe. And yeah, I mean, you can see actually Jason Fung talking about the different advantages, very good advantages, like something as simple as, hey, if you have to cook, you have to go to the grocery shop and then get some groceries. You have to buy stuff, you have to buy plates and whatnot, and then you have to cook food. You need the time for this, you need time and money, and then effort for this, and then you finally get your food. If you go out and eat, it's probably not going to be that cheap. It's going to be pretty costly, and it's not even sure that you will get a good food for the cost you pay, and unless you can trust that company and the shop and then things like that. So you could rather just make it in your house. But if you're fasting, you don't even have to make food. You don't have to get up really early. You don't have to go buy groceries or like, do stuff or spend time eating whatever. You can just jump off bed and like get ready and then go off to office. Um, you don't need time. Similar to like for exercising, you need time, effort, motivation, energy, and things like that. For fasting, as long as you can abstain from food, for example, the other day I was sitting in front of this person who was eating burgers and whatnot. I was just like, oh my God. However, I don't really like junk food much, but I can eat a bit of junk food and then I can get addicted and then just overeat or eat just a lot of junk food from around multiple dishes and not just one. So I was abstaining from food, but once I started doing that, it was pretty easy, and I just drank water at times, and that's all. I ensured that it's pretty sunny here, so I just drank lots of water, and then I ensured that um, my stomach is not empty with nothing, so it has some water, and then um, when I feel hungry, and if it's my eating window, I just go eat. Um, Jason Fung is a pretty cool guy. You should check it out. You should check out this YouTube channel. You should check out his talks and things like that. I would highly recommend checking it out. And of course, like, yeah, talk to your, say, doctor. For example, my therapist told me, like, hey, try out fasting, yes. Do ensure that your vitamin levels are good, for which you could also take some vitamin supplements. And so I'm currently taking some vitamin supplements. I think it has vitamin B, multiple kinds of vitamin B, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, and things like that. This is just me experimenting fasting, and I personally see weight loss, probably because of fasting, cycling, and walking, and also today running. So I think I am burning off the fat and like, I'm melting off the fat, as Jason Fung likes to put it. And yeah, like I think it's going pretty good, and I'll plan to lose more weight and then put more muscle. Um, and I'm trying to get rid of my belly fat, basically. Yep, that's all I want to talk about in this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.